It was Christmas Eve, and we were at some friend's house. Decided we wanted to go get drugs, and so we went, and we ended up staying in the crack house all night. And the next day I missed Christmas.
This past winter here, this past winter, there was a guy, a homeless man. He jumped on the Beverly Bridge. He committed suicide. He lost hope.
I mean, I didn't know what an alcoholic was or anything like that. Like our version of an alcoholic, I always thought was a person on the street with a brown paper bag who didn't have a job or a family. So I didn't really know that was my dad's issue, like alcoholism. The next part's obviously hard to talk about, like remember just not feeling safe around my father. You know, when my mom was gone, it was bedtime and we had to get our jammies on and stuff, and I always remember, you know, trying to put on extra pajamas. So when my dad wanted me to sit on his knee, like for TV time or whatever, my mom wasn't there, that it would be harder to get in my clothes.
My uncle shot himself in June of '89, and then 6 months later, my cousin hung herself. 6 months later, almost the exact same day, my auntie got murdered. It was listed as suicide, but I believe she was murdered. And another 6 months later, my other cousin shot herself, and I found my auntie and my cousin. So all these deaths, and then the physical and mental abuse. So I had all these thoughts in my head. You're no good for nothing, you're ugly, you're never gonna be amount to nothing. That's all you're gonna be. You're gonna be nothing but a piece of garbage.
I tried killing myself many times, just pills. I was always too afraid to do anything more than that. I tried the cutting, but I just couldn't get deep enough. I got tired, and I was really just wanting someone to take care of me. And I think at that time, my first husband was there, and we stayed together and had children. And during my pregnancies, I was able to stop smoking and quit drinking. But as soon as I had my children, the drinking started again. And at times tried therapy, but I felt like the therapy just kind of opened me up more, like made me want to be more distant from my family. I just thought that it was my parents' fault. They did a shit job, and this is the reason why, like I blamed them for the shape I was in, for my drinking, for my using. Yeah, I just blamed them. It was their fault.
When I did the drugs and alcohol, I wanted to feel something. I wanted to fill an empty hole in my heart. I didn't want to deal with my emotions. I didn't want to deal with nothing. Just a party. I lost sight of reality when I was hard into my drugs and alcohol. I got into a fight and I got bitten on my finger, so I thought I got HIV. And I wanted to go to Vancouver to go kill myself, because I learned that you could kill yourself by taking a bunch of drugs and make your heart explode. I got beaten up. My head was like a basketball. And then the police had to fingerprint me to find out who I was, because I was unrecognizable. I failed many times. I threw God away many times, and I end up turning back to the drugs and alcohol. That's the whole process of addiction. It's all the battlefield of the mind. It's a battle to stay sober. It's a battle to have that positive mindset.
I feel like it was just a progressive thing. It was just all around. All of our friends drank, all of our friends partied, and so that was just what we did. I was 21 when I was out for my birthday party. My friends at the time offered me cocaine for the first time, I tried it and I liked it a lot. And from there, I was doing more and more and more of that, and the cocaine turned into freebasing, smoking crack, and I got hooked on it straight away. Like that's all I wanted to do. I spent more time partying and doing drugs and less time with the children. I went to NA, and I think for 11 months, I was clean and sober. During this time too, I also went through divorce. I ended up getting my own place, and the kids went to go live with their dad. Then I met a different group of friends, and the one night we were in the pub and they were doing shooters, and I always just asked for a water shooter, and I got the wrong one. And from there I just kept drinking. I had the taste of it. So then it was another roll of relapse, and then starting the cocaine again.
And then it's like a hook. Once you have that taste, and it's just a vicious cycle. It's hard to break. I did it for 15 years. 15 years. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I go to the reserve, go sober up there, I go sing in the powwows. And then when I come into the city, I do the same thing over and over again. I tried the native spirituality, and I tried the AA program, the CA program, Narcotics Anonymous. It just didn't help me. I used to I rejected everybody. I was so angry, and when the Christians were coming to me, they said, "Oh, come to Jesus." I said, "Get away from me. My way is the peace pipe and the sweet grass way."
At that time, I was selling real estate, and I really enjoyed it. I was good at it. I loved doing it. And then I met my second husband. We settled down, like again, with the pregnancies. So I could, quit everything.
And I was searching for God. I was searching and I was searching and I was looking. I wanted to end my cycle of living in hell. And I found God.
I was convinced in that moment that I would get clean and I would never use again. Whitney she was only a couple weeks old when I was out drinking again, and it happened so fast. It was like a tornado sucking you dry of everything, just like. The more money I made, the more expensive the parties got.
I loved my alcohol. I loved my crack cocaine. I loved my everything. It didn't matter. I just wanted to cover all the hurts and pains I had. I walked away from Jesus and I started drinking. I lived on the street for 15 years.
I met a group of people. At the odd time, we used to smoke crack together. And it's like they took over the house, and I couldn't escape it. I knew I was losing my house. I just rolled around with these people that I never knew existed and just sold drugs, and that's how I supported my habit.
I lost my license, I lost my company.
If I was high, I didn't care about anything.
Live on a river valley, and go to sleep, and go to work from the river.
I just didn't give a fuck, honestly.
Hey, you're no good for nothing, Indian, get a job.
I abandoned my family, my life, my children.
It's so worse now, like this fentanyl, all this opiates.
I said, "Hey, I need help, I want to get clean." And he said, "I can't help you." I feel very lucky to be not living here anymore, you know, like this could easily still be me if I was still even alive. I also feel very blessed for this place because it helped me a lot. I was trying to get into Aventa for treatment. I got there and they wouldn't take me because I failed my drug test. Next thing I know, I'm getting woke up by a police officer, and I asked him, I said, oh, can you just take me to jail? I have a warrant out for my arrest. And he said, I don't take people to jail who want to go to jail. And he brought me here to the drop-in center. Yeah, this is where I would walk down in the morning. I would wait till I could go down the stairs, and this was like my safe haven. And we just spend most of the day going through all the donations. I was just so relieved to have a safe place because it's so hard to stay clean without your basic needs. And my family had given up on me. I don't blame them. You know what I mean? Like, I put them in danger. So they had definitely given up. And then this girl that I met, I was telling her, I'm trying to get clean. I want to change my life. And she said, oh, then you need to get up on the 5th floor. And once you've done that, like, it's safe up there. It's zero tolerance. You can be supported. Yeah, I would have came through here or this way, or would it be that way? And then this area was so different. It had couches, and then we could look down to see if the Salvation Army truck was here on I think it came on Sundays with the hot chocolate, and it would park down here in this parking lot, and we would go down there together to get a hot chocolate. Yeah.
Last week, I got to stay at the Hotel McDonald. We had a big mini bar. It was full of alcohol. And I still had to battle that thought, oh, I wonder if I should have a drink. After living a life of booze, drugs, and wrath, the one thing I asked for is a house full of laughing children. This is a prayer I prayed when I was in my lowest. And then now, instead of being homeless and having no money for 2 weeks every time, now I could help people. And it's amazing what God has done in my life. And how He helped me get over my addictions. I am no longer worthless. I'm a miracle. I have a plan for my life, and I believe this is my plan. This is why I was born.
I've been sober since March 24th, 2008.
And my alcohol, I've been sober for 8 years now.
And I knew there was no amount of sorries that would make up for abandoning my children. You know, nothing I could say that would make that okay. And I just knew that the only way to make my amend to them was just to stay clean and sober.
Butterfly.
You know, I faced all this stuff. I'm learning patience. I've learned to live 1 minute at a time. And if you lose hope, you need somebody to give you hope again. So that's where we come in.
We ask, like, what's the matter with these people instead of what matters to them? What matters to you?
Some people over here, their spirit is out of themselves. And that's where I was. My spirit, it wasn't even in me. You know what I mean? Like, I was just like a hollow shell.